Good evening traders, it's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets with the weekly review of Aussie dollar and pound yen. Now 2 weeks ago I turned around and said buying the dollar would be a very good trade, very wise move, and it's primed to move up to the upside. And to be quite honest, we've now confirmed that with a nice bullish engulfing candle on the monthly chart, which on Tuesday is the end of the month officially. But if you look at it on a weekly perspective as well, it will be closed, where it's closed now is quite bullish. I do feel that this week would be a little bit of bearishness to start the week. I do feel the dollar needs a bit more of a pullback now just to get some value into it again, but we'll show that bit by bit. So the monthly here, this month is almost finished now. Nice bullish engulfing candle. If you want to know what the perfect setup is to take trades, these candles here, these tweezers here, let me explain why to you again, okay? Price came down. You got bearish inside bar, well, bearish like doji there. Then you got a nice low test with a bullish close. So now you want to buy here. That's very, very perfect. That is the monthly 50s in the way, key level, all that kind of gaff as well. And then we broke to the upside quite nicely. So that's why I like this so much. When that comes down to Aussie dollar, for example, Aussie dollar, we went short here. I got stopped out at the very top. Unfortunately, the way it works, but it started breaking down. So last week I said I think the Aussie dollar will come down to round about the 77 area, and we was right. And if you look at where my entry was up here, I didn't get tagged in, which, to be quite honest, it can be a bit annoying at times, but you know, I look at good value as well. I got in value at other trades as well, so I'm not too bothered about that as such, but that's what I'm looking for. So where do I think this trade can go next? Well, personally myself, all this bearish pressure, bullish pressure on the dollar and bearish pressure on any other currency, I feel that the dollar has moved quite a lot already this week, and we need to find it. It may just continue to fall down, but at the same time it could also pull back. It does need a pullback as well. You may get a trade at 775, you may do, but that doesn't give me much structure. It gives me support and resistance levels, but that's not enough for me just to go on its own. I like to see a bit of structure here. So this one here, this trade here, doesn't give me the structure like say euro dollar does, and we'll go on that a little bit later. The other thing here as well is this: it's a Friday candle. This low test is a Friday candle. It's in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't go long on that either. It's just most likely to be big funds take the money out over the weekend. That's all that is. So for me personally, I wouldn't go long here either, so I would leave this for a bit, let it develop. If it comes back up to 782 in the next few days, by the end of the week, and gives you some tests there, that could be a good trade. Again, you've got to play it by ear there, but at the moment this doesn't turn me on at all. I don't like it that much. I'm not going to show you intraday because there's absolutely no point whatsoever. Pound yen. Now pound yen, I am waiting for a pullback still to the 147.5. Why is that? Well, because the yen I feel now is powering up, and I will show you that in other yen pairs. So Aussie yen has broken down to the downside quite nicely. CAD yen has broke this down upward sloping trend line as well, so that gives me a bit of concern. Swiss yen has put in a lower low in. If you notice, all these yen pairs are breaking down, guys. Euro yen had two bearish engulfing candles there. That's a lot of acceleration. It's only stopped the daily 50. I don't know whether, if it closes below this 131.5, I would say it's definitely bearish, and I'll be looking for shorts later on. Pound yen we know about. Kiwi yen had already broken down this long-term upward sloping trend line. It's broken to the downside plus this key level as well of 78.5. Although the Kiwi did gain a little bit on Friday, the weekly itself is definitely looking a bit bearish now. It closed below all the weekly lows. And also dollar yen, we've said like how strong the dollar is. The weekly's got a nice high test at 114. Yeah, tap that in there quickly for you. So that's a concern to go long there now. We won't go long dollar yen right now. And when you look at the daily chart, you can definitely see that there's some bearish pressure coming in. There's lots of deceleration here, and I'll be surprised if the yen weakens massively over the over next week. Like pound yen goes up with all this yen bullish pressure. So when you come back to pound yen, I don't see this as being at value. I still see 147.5 being at value, I do. So that's what I'm looking for there. Now, on euro dollar, it's a trade we said last week. Now I said I think it's a good to get in around this area somewhere. and we was pretty much spot on in all fairness. We predicted what we were looking for, and I'm going to show you now what we're looking for next. So what happened was with euro dollar, it pulled back up to 1183 roughly, pretty much. It was something I was looking at, and I said I'm happy to take an order around there. I got in a bit earlier than that. I just wanted to get in as a weekly trade. I wasn't really too bothered. Earning 8%, 9% in a couple of months is quite nice on one trade. It did pop against me, then broke down nicely. It's put a clean lower low in here, and if you just again go back to this weekly daily chart, this is the head and shoulder pattern. Just to pop that in again, I know everyone's seen it, but just so you know what we're looking at. There we are. And that's it there. So now the neckline, if you ever pull back down to, so the neckline is 1.17, so I'm going to pop that back out again, and if we get a pullback and a test of 117, I would happily enter there. Now depending how you want to do it, you can put your stop above the head there for, I know it's 190 pips, people don't like seeing these stupidly high pip stops, but it's where you're right and where you're wrong. If you get a little mini double top on 117 on the 4-hour chart, so price comes up and maybe forms another triangle here, put some double tops, triple top patterns here, I'll be happily taking it with a much tighter stop. I would. So if it was me, you put your levels in there as well. You can definitely see it at 174. That's a key level on the 4-hour chart. So if it's me personally, if we pop back up here and you get an entry there somewhere, I'd happily put my stop round about there for 60 pips, and I will still target the lows of 105, and that would be around about there somewhere. So on this trade here, by the end of the year, we could end up with like say 25-30% overall, because 17% here, plus you've got your other trade as well that's already running long term. That's what I'm looking for, and this is the next leg down. It's got two head and shoulder patterns at a break and retest of the one pattern. Now it's broke down again, a retest and neckline at 117 for the second head and shoulder pattern. Then you're looking nice there. The expected pattern distance is going to be round about into this zone. The expected pattern is into the 1.14 zone, and I feel if it goes into the 1.14 zone, it'll then head down towards the lows of 105. So that's what I'm looking for ultimately, and I feel we'll get that later on. So that's what I got for this week. We predicted everything correctly last week, and we're now going to sit on our hands and see what happens, how the market reacts to certain things. But my personal view this week is the dollar will get a little bit weaker, give us some value, and we'll have some good dollar pairs to come into. If the yen powers up nicely against the pound and gives you a nice signal at 147.5, I'd happily take the trade there as well. Okay guys, I hope you're well, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.